Welcome in July 5th, Red Sox Roundtable, hosted by myself, Nick Quaglia, along with Ethan Winter, a regular guest here on the Red Sox Roundtable, CLNS, and Jared Scally.
I'm becoming more of a regular on these things, so yeah.
Yeah. This is slowly becoming a dream team.
I love it. But I'm all for it.
We will have more people coming on as the days go by. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to the listeners. We've been debating on what even to talk about. We want to get a roundtable out there, but we've been debating because, guys, the Red Sox are so good right now that it's hard to. Roundtables thrive off of negativity and hate and anger, and it is hard. It is hard right now to find anything to hate. But there's always one guy. There is always one guy who does well with making us hate him, even when he pitches well, even when he goes 6 full innings last night and doesn't give up a single run to the Texas Rangers. David Price. We're going to talk about the David Price drama that happened just a few days ago after the Minnesota Twins game on the plane. Allegedly, David Price and Dennis Eckersly got into a verbal altercation, and then came out through Twitter that the argument that arose was because David Price was upset about a comment that Dennis Eckersley made about his teammate, which turned out to be Eduardo Rodriguez. The only comment that most of us could find was the Dennis Eckersley comment that he said on the NESN broadcast, where they showed Eduardo Rodriguez's pitching line when he played for the Portland Sea Dogs, which was horrendous. It was something horrible. It was about 9 hits or something like that, 5 earned runs.
I think it was 3 innings, 5 runs on 6 hits, I think.
Yeah, it was a horrendous line, and all X said was yuck. So it sounds like that's what sparked the altercation, and the altercation. Altercation?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the word. So my issue here with David Price is that he finds a way to make us talk about him even when he pitches well. Talk about him in a negative light even when he pitches well. Because if he could just keep his mouth shut and try not to be the guy who stands up for people, especially when they don't need to be stood up for. He's a grown man. Even when he pitches well, he stands up for people he doesn't have to. And now he's in the media in a negative light again because he does this to himself. And you can't feel bad for this guy. He does this to himself. He brings on this negative light to himself. If he just pitches well, we're not going to be talking about him in this way.
But see, aren't you okay with, like, at least I am, like, of him just being, okay, as long as you're pitching well, say whatever the hell you want. You know? Like, I'm all for the one of, like, if you have a personality and you're funny, you're trying to be engaging, or you're negative and engaging, like Manny could have been back in the day as well, who cares, right? You're pitching well. That's all we've ever asked of David Price was, if you're going to be a pain in the butt and you're going to be annoying, at least pitch well so we can be decent with you when you watch you on the field.
And I think what David Price is doing is, and I don't think he needs to do this, but I think the reason why he gets into these altercations with Evan Drellick and Dennis Eckersley is because there's building resentment that just comes to a head for whatever reason, and he's trying to get the back of his teammates, and I don't think he needs to do this, especially in a public setting like on a team plane or a shouting match outside the clubhouse where everyone can hear. All he needs to do is, like, pull Eck aside after they get off the plane and say, hey, man, I don't appreciate you saying yuck to one of my teammates' rehab start lines.
Which is pathetic.
Tone down negativity.
He didn't have to do that. He should have even done that. He should have just left it alone. Like, what's the point? What are you getting to go to Eck and go, hey, dude, you made my buddy feel bad? He probably didn't even care. Why would he care? He pitched like crap. He knows he did.
I agree. I don't think he needs to say anything, but if he feels the need to show his teammates that he has their back, just make it more in a quiet setting. Like, don't make it a public fiasco about it.
Yeah, but see, here's my issue. Here's another issue of mine with David Price. He needs everything to be out in the open. He needs everybody to know everything. You can see because he's always on Twitter. He's tweeting at people. He's causing issues over social media. He's calling out Evan Drellick after a comment that he made during the game, by the way. Still not sure how he learned about that comment during the game unless he was on his phone, which, as we know from the Pablo Sandoval issue, that is not legal. So he chewed out Evan Drellick kind of not in front of people, but he was saying it loud enough so people could hear him. And now he's going after Dennis Eckersley, the great Dennis Eckersley, on a plane, which A, is disrespectful.
Yeah.
B, my favorite line that he apparently said in the argument was, "You don't know how hard it is." Are you talking about the guy who went from starting pitcher to elite relief pitcher? You don't know how hard it is? This guy pitched in Boston during times, guys, they didn't have a World Series at that time for 50-plus years.
Yeah,
okay?
it was bad.
People were a little pissy up here. You're telling me that Dennis Eckersley didn't know how hard it was? Please. He does this in front of people, so people would be like, oh, wow, look at David Price. David Price really stands up for his teammates. David Price is a great guy. He's all about the applause. Thank you, David Price. Good job. You're a really good guy. Go screw. Do it on your own. If you're going to be mad at Dennis Eckersley and you want to talk to him, like you said, go talk to him on your own time. Don't bring it up in front of people because you know there are reporters on that plane. You know this is gonna get leaked out. If you don't want this to get leaked out and you don't want people to know about it and you don't want to get the applause on social media and just throughout the media in general that you're trying to get, which I genuinely believe he's trying to get, then do it in a quiet setting. Do not do it in front of other people because now it just looks bad. And we're not talking about his great performance last night. We're talking about how much of a D-bag
I think he is.
Hey, Mr. Eckersley, you hurt my teammates' feelings when you said he didn't pitch too great there in Double-A. Can you just be a little nicer, please? Like, stop it. Like that. Just picture.
Hey, Mr. Eckersley.
Okay, no, he's not Drew Pomeranz. He's not Drew Pomeranz.
My friend Eduardo, he's really upset. Can you go talk to him?
It's the it's the Eduardo Rodriguez.
Probably doesn't even hear that comment because he's down in Portland.
Yeah, he probably wasn't even with the team. He wasn't with the team. There's no way. It was the
unless he was watching the game,
which he wasn't. I don't think because he had a start earlier that day. I don't know what his schedule is, but he was busy. He had other things to do.
Yeah, Mr. Eckersley, can you just be nicer to my teammates, or I'll stick my dog Astro on you. You know, he's nice sometimes, but he can be pretty mean when he's not liked around. And I trained him pretty well because I'm a pretty swell fella, so I could probably get him to sick on you if I tried hard enough. Like. I just picture David Price saying the most random crap to those random people. And I think it's great that this happened to Dennis Eckersley because I love Dennis Eckersley. Like, I think he should replace Jerry Remy now. And obviously, I know Jerry Remy get well. But, like, when they finally can Jerry Remy, it needs to be Eckersley and Eckersley only. None of this three booth crap with Lions and that stuff.
The three booth crap was horrible.
It's awful. No, it needs to be O'Brien and it needs to be Dennis Eckersley. Because the NESN broadcast is crap enough as it is. At least give me something to listen to while the graphics are showing everywhere and they tell me that I need to stay with them because they're showing me pictures of them warming up. I don't care. Like, go to commercial. I expect that. It's TV.
And you know what? Just a little side note. I have always found that a little strange since they started saying that stay right here. We're not going to leave. So we watch Craig Kimbrell walk out of the bullpen all the way to the mound. Like, why do we have to watch that?
I get up and go to the bathroom. Like, that's when I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And get more beer.
There is zero entertainment value in that. Absolutely none. But David Price, if he wants to be the guy who is liked, and he's opting out after his contract next year anyway, I'm sure.
No, I don't think he. I don't think he is. I think he's staying.
It depends on how well he pitches next year. I think.
Is he going to leave that much money? Nick Quacks, is he going to leave that much money on the table? Because no one's going to pay him what he's getting paid.
I think he's that soft that he will. I think he will leave because he's sick of us. He hates us. He doesn't like Boston fans. You haven't heard him one time say since he came here, or since he at least started playing baseball, you haven't heard him once say how much he's appreciative of the fans here. All he has done is...
We're terrible to him.
All he has done is crapped on us and crapped on the media. He doesn't like us. He doesn't like the media here. And...
Except for Travis.
Besides who?
Carabas. Bunk beds. But
besides Carabas, yeah.
I think Carabas is even sick of him at this point. Like, yeah, exactly. It's getting ridiculous.
I think Carabas was in the same boat a lot of people like me were last year. We were backing him up a lot because we really didn't want to believe the truth that he was.
Oh, he definitely was. Go look at we had him on a couple times Red Sox beat, and we had him on ESPN New Hampshire. He said it. He backed up David Price. It's just what it is. And now it's getting to the point where even anyone who was backing him is sick of him.
But you know what? You know what though? David Price is rolling right now, and as long as he continues to roll like this,
don't care.
You're gonna notice that a lot of the hate, if he just keeps his mouth shut and keeps pitching the way he has been, then you are gonna see a total change in tune by the end of the season. We will thoroughly enjoy David Price, but with that being said, I don't think he's going to keep his mouth shut. I think he's going to say something stupid, and I think he's going to say something that's going to really set off a lot of the Red Sox fan base. Who knows? He might even come out and straight say it after a start. I'm opting out after next season. Imagine if you said that. Imagine the turmoil. But on top of David Price rolling right now, the Red Sox are also rolling. The Red Sox right now are in first place in the American League East over the New York Yankees, and they've slowly
4.5 games.
By 4.5 games. They are now 49-35. 4.5 games over the New York Yankees, 6 games over the Tampa Bay Rays, 8.5 over the Orioles, and 10 over the Toronto Blue Jays. They are really cruising right now. They're 25-14 at home, 24-21 away, but that away record has really started doing a lot better in recently. And the last 10, they're 8-2. So they've been really unbelievable. Now that they have this 4.5 game lead over the Yankees, though, the question is, are they going to ever relinquish this lead for the rest of 2017? Jared, what do you think?
No. Nope. I think it will get close again. I don't think it's going to be all of a sudden like 10 games and they're in the clear. Like the Yankees.
It's not going to be AL Central. AL Central's absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that at all.
AL West.
Or AL
Or
West.
the AL West. Yeah, it's not going to be any of those. It's going to be the Yankees will be involved in September. Like there's going to be a finish because the Yankees pitching isn't great right now, and that's what's causing this. But they're going to trade for somebody. I know they were interested in trading with the Blue Jays. I know I just saw that report. So like there are things that could happen, and the Yankees are better than we've seen the Yankee peak, but they could get back to the peak. I don't think we've even seen the Red Sox peak yet, to be 100% honest, because there's still holes on this team. The outfield's been phenomenal, but as far apart as they are now, it might get to 5-6 games before the All-Star break. All-Star break's coming at a terrible time, by the way. This is not good for them. But
yes, they're rolling.
They
right
are
now.
rolling
They
through right now. But honestly, I don't think it'll go back and forth. It'll be close, but I don't think they'll ever be in second the rest of the way. It's their division at this point.
I'm not ready to say that they've wrapped up the division because there's still obviously a lot of baseball left to be played, and a lot can happen between now and October 1st or whenever this season ends. But I think the Red Sox are going to be in first place for, at the very least, a majority of the rest of this season. But I'm not ready to award the AL East to the Red Sox yet.
Yeah, you might see every once in a while, like you might see one day where like the Yankees have a half a game lead because the Red Sox were off or something like that. But even that, I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll get enough clearance before the Yankees start to pick it up again that it'll get close, but they won't be able to climb. They won't have enough time to just climb all the way back.
See, I absolutely think the Red Sox have the lead now, obviously, but they're not going to give up that lead. And that's because I don't believe in the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees are as good as they've been. This
whole
season
division's
really,
crap.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing. That's the issue. The whole division's crap except for the Red Sox. The Red Sox are a genuinely good baseball team. The New York Yankees, they were a surprise to a lot of us to be as good as they were for as long as they were. But at the same time, who else in the division really could challenge them? Nobody.
Yeah, they're
Nobody.
weak. Like
Toronto's horrendous.
Yeah, Toronto had the roster, and the Red Sox were only even close now because they started so horribly and had injuries in the flu the first week of the season, and from there they just they had to get healthy. This team is far and beyond the best team in the division, and they're going to win the division. Now, playoffs, who knows, because David Price is on the team. But before then, they're fine. Rick Porcello, who knows? Chris Sale's never pitched a game in the playoffs. Now, it's probably fine. It's Chris Sale, but he's never pitched a playoff game. You don't have to expect from him either.
Chris Sale's cold-blooded. He'll be
fine.
Chris Sale's
he'll be fine. And if he sucks, then he'll just cut up some jerseys and he'll be fine the next day.
All right, we got any more? Jared, do you got any more stupid comments after that Chris Sale comment to finish off the show with?
I hate Drew Poimo wins. No, that's a kid. That's a lie. I like Drew Poimo. I just like saying Drew Poimo wins.
Drew Poimo wins. Mr. Eckersely, you can pet Astro if you want to.
Drew Poimo wins.
Mr. Eckersely, my name is Drew Plomowans. I don't like David Price. Can we get rid of him?
Ethan, you got any final thoughts?
Drew Plomowans, David Price, and Astro all want you to vote for Xander Bogaerts in the final vote for the All-Star game.
You're right. Hashtag vote X. I've already texted A2 to whatever that phone number was 35 times, so I can't text anymore.
Message and data rates may apply.
Message, yeah, but you know what? I got AT&T, baby. I'm not going to shamelessly plug right here, but I've been very happy with my service since switching from T-Mobile. T-Mobile, those trash bags.
They're terrible.
Oh, you know what? This is CLNS. I forgot we're supposed to be a little bit more professional.
That's okay.
All right. CLNS Roundtable. Thank you for listening. Dream Team, Ethan Winter, Jared Scally, Nick Qualia. Talked about David Price tonight and the Red Sox with their stranglehold on the American League East. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Check it out, clnsradio.com, soon to be clnsmedia.com. Currently, CLNS Media. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.